Hi girls, so today I want to share with you what my experience with the birth control implant was and why I decided to take it out. So before I begin with the video, I just want to say that this is just my personal experience and this is how I felt. You might relate, you might not, you might be wondering if is it a good idea to get it put into your arm for 3 years, is it not? So I'm just going to cover a few bits of the whole procedure and like how I felt. I'm going to explain why I decided to take it out and why I was so negative about it. So when I first put it in, I had it for 3 years. The doctor didn't insert it properly, so I don't know if you know, but it goes into your arm and you get to choose which arm, or at least I got to choose which arm I wanted to have it on. And I decided to get it on my left arm because I know I sleep on top of my right one and I didn't want to wake up with a thing gone somewhere, slid into somewhere, or something weird happening at all. So I was just like, I'll get it on my left arm and that's it, I'll be fine. So I went to get it done, and this here is where I got my first one put in. So it's like this big, so it's not a massive thing, it's nothing painful, it's just it goes in under your skin. You can feel it sometimes, like if you touch it like this you might be able to feel it. Like I did it a few times and I was disgusted by the feeling, so I was just like, oh no, I don't want to touch that anymore, you know. So I think I spent like 3.5 years without even trying to touch it. Like it was just a nightmare for me because I got really disgusted and I don't know why, but it felt a bit weird. So yeah, I got it done and it was put into here and it had slit a bit downwards, so they had to do another hole down here to be able to take it out. And also I got my next one, which I had for about half a year. I'll carry on onto the reason later on, but I want to explain first. So here I got my second one put in here and it was very well positioned and they were able to get it out from the same hole. So I only have 3 holes instead of 4. Obviously I would have preferred to have less holes if possible, less scarring, but it is what it is, you know, you've got to go through it, so it's fine by me. And I'm also planning on getting a tattoo which is going to cover that area. So I don't know if you already have the implant into your arm and you're experiencing some kind of weird side effects or not, but I had it, the first one I had for 3 years, so the first 1.5 years I guess it was normal. Like I normally used to be without any kind of contraception, without taking anything or have the implant, so I was fine. And then about 1.5 years later I started to have these really painful periods and very heavy periods too, so I would use about 7 to 8 pads a day. I couldn't even bear the idea of getting a tampon in because it was just pointless. Like I wanted to have it, my pad. I used to wear night pads as well, so it was really bad, and I would feel tired all the time, and I would feel down, and I would feel like I'm just depressed all the time. I would have mood swings. Like 1 second I'd be super happy, like I'd be like, yeah, you know, living my best life, and then the next second I'd be just there sat down, like feeling down and all that. So I was just like, oh, you know, I was a bit tired of all this. So I went to my doctor and we were talking about what my options could be with birth control, because I cannot take the combined pill and I only had this as an option, maybe using a condom, female condom, the ring, or IUD. So of course, like I know both things, so the implant and the IUD, they're 2 procedures kind of thing, and you know, I was scared to get even my arm perforated, putting the little implant in, but I had to do it. And I was like, you know what, I've got so many toes, like it would be easy, you know, it's not gonna be so bad. But with the IUD, I've had friends saying things like, oh, it's just like really painful and it's like a really bad period. And I had this friend who actually, it was funny, she said to me, imagine your worst pain period that you've had. And I was like, you know, I got loads, so like I don't even know which one's the worst because they're all super bad. So I thought of it and I was like, oh my god, like there is no way I'm getting the IUD, like I'm not gonna go through that. So I didn't. I decided to get another implant. And I was thinking at that time, I thought, well, you know what, it's been 3 years since I had my first one put in. I guess they're going to be a bit different now, or maybe, you know, some women have complained or whatever and they've changed it a little bit. It might be better, so I'll just try and see what's going to happen, because the combined pill for me wasn't an option, and there was just one kind of pill that I could take. So I got my implant done the second time, and I had it for half a year. Now, through that half a year, I had a really bad time. So imagine if my periods were bad and painful before that. Well, I got the second implant in, and it went nuts. Like, it just went nuts. It was everywhere. Like, I had hormonal acne, I had cysts, which I was getting mad at the fact that they were so painful and I couldn't pop them either. Like, it was just annoying. And I started to get acne on my back, acne all over my face, acne on my chest too, and the painful periods on top. And I was just like, God, why am I even doing this? So I went to my doctor, and it'd only been like 2 months since I had it put in. And I was like, well, I just want to take it out. I just don't feel well with it. And she suggested that I could take a contraceptive pill, that it wasn't the combined pill, because I couldn't take that one. So I was just like, well, okay, I will do that. Then I took the pill, and it was just, I had my implant into my arm releasing hormones, and then I was taking tablets, which was the other pill apart, which is other hormones, more hormones on top of what I already had in my body. So I was just like, is it really worth it? You know, like I was supposed to not have my period for the week that I started to take the pill. So I started taking the pill, and it being, I think, like a week, and I got my period, and I had my period for about 3 weeks non-stop, just really heavy, really painful. And it got to a point where I was like, well, I think it's time, you know. I don't know what my body is like without those hormones in and the birth control, because I know that in some areas it changes your life in a way of yourself, like your personality and your body in general. So I put weight on, and I had the acne, which knocked down my confidence completely. And I know a lot of people suffer from acne. I don't want to sound like, oh, you know, like my acne was too bad. I know there's people that have worse acne than me, but I couldn't bear with the fact that I was having so many cysts all over my body, and they were so painful. So I was just like, it's time, I'm getting it out. So this is what I did. I took it out, and it turns out I feel better without it. Like, my body has gone, shall I say, back to normal. It's a lot better in a way, so I don't feel full all the time. Like, before, I used to feel like I was retaining a lot of liquids, and I was exercising, I was eating clean stuff. Like, I'm having a really clean lifestyle. So I didn't know why I was putting weight on. It was just doing my head in. I was like, why? You know, I drink plenty of water and I eat all these great things for your body and all that, and I kept going up and up my weight, and I just couldn't know why. So once I took the implant out, I lost some weight, in terms of, not, I wouldn't say actual weight, it's more of the fluffiness, that I felt like I was retaining liquids and that my body was heavy. Like, it just felt heavy itself. So I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well here, but this is what I felt like. And also the cyst disappeared, and this was a big part for me, because I think out of everything, apart from the pain, obviously, which was the first thing that was really annoying me all the time, I think that was the second problem that I had, which was painful and annoying, and just, I didn't want to deal with that anymore. So I stopped all kinds of birth controls and hormone based birth controls, which is pretty much all of them, because I knew at that point that I had this hormonal imbalance in my body, that this was all causing a few things, and obviously putting more hormones in was just kicking off all the time. So my periods started to be very regular, so I have my period every 28, 27 days, whatever, something like that, but it's always so regular. I also have an app, it's called PD, so it's P.D. I really recommend this app. It's amazing to follow up with your period, when you're going to get your period, when you're fertile and infertile. What I do is, so after talking to my doctor and obviously saying that I wouldn't like to have any kind of hormone pills or any kind of hormone birth control into my body, she recommended that I do the natural family planning. This is it, natural family planning. So what you do is, you might want to take your temperature, you might always forget to do it, like if you're me, you will forget. So what I do is I really trust the app, in terms of, I've had about 8 months now that I've had to get to know my body better, in terms of what my body is like before, the days before I get my period, and what it's like when I get my period, and what it's like after that. So there is some signs that you can learn and you can see through your body before your period that can tell you, right, you will have your period soon, you know. So I learned those things, and I learned how to listen to my body and understand it a bit more, see how everything works out. So I started to do the natural family planning, which is basically not using any kind of birth control. The only protection you use is a condom, and in the window when you're infertile, you either use a condom or you don't use anything. You decide what you want to do, if you want to use it or you don't want to use it. So to finish with this video, I would say, for me personally, if you relate and if you're having the same problems as I am, then you might agree with me, and I think it's not worth it for people who feel the way I feel. It's completely worth it for other people. Like, I know a lot of friends of mine that are happy with it, and for them it's been the best option, but for me it just wasn't. So I think it's just not worth it for people that already have some sort of heavy periods before having the implant put in. So you need to listen to your body, and you need to see what your body is like. So for me, I gave it, the second implant I put in, I gave it 6 months just to see if it was going to settle down with my body, and I think 6 months is enough time for you to know if it's good for you or not. So that's it. I think in general, you decide what to do. It's your body, but this is my experience, and if that helps you in some way, or if you're wondering, maybe if you're having those painful periods and you're wondering, well, should I take it out, then this is what I've got to say to you. And I hope this video helps, and if you see this video, please comment if you've had any sort of experience that's relatable to mine, or you've had a good experience. I would love to know. And if we could help to someone who is wondering whether they should get it or they should take it out, then I hope this video helps. And I'm going to be talking more about another topics on my next video. So I'm planning to have my next video talking about lip fillers, which at the moment I clearly do not have. I used to, and I will dive more into that when we get to the next video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, and if you're interested to see what videos I'm going to make next, please subscribe and like my video, and please comment what your experiences have been with birth control. I would love to know. Thank you very much for watching.